In the 1950s and 60s, soda shops, hot rods, and drive-in theaters were all over America. But in Cincinnati, Ohio, there was no place quite like Coney Island.
The park actually got its start back in the 1870s as a picnic grove and eventually became an amusement park. 1925 was the big year that it actually added a lot of rides. And back in the 60s, it was our big park in Cincinnati.
And here at EnterTRAINment Junction, a stunning recreation is bringing the beloved amusement park back to life. Don Aders is the owner and operator of EnterTRAINment Junction. A while back, he and a few fellow train lovers got together to build one of the world's largest indoor train displays. And they have more than 80 trains running through different eras of American history. But in 2012, the folks at EnterTRAINment Junction decided to recreate this local classic.
Our Coney Island display is a replica, an exact replica of Coney Island Amusement Park. So we actually took one of its highlight years, 65. All the rides and all the games and all the buildings are exactly as it was in 1965. In Coney, we actually have the roller coaster, which their signature ride was the Shooting Star. We also have the Wild Mouse, a haunted house. We have a Tumblebug. We have the rocket rides. We actually have the train around Lake Como, the turnpike cars that the kids would ride. It's probably one of the most original replicas of any amusement park that is to scale and all working that I know of in the world.
Almost everything was built from scratch by volunteers. And several of the moving parts were programmed by volunteer Steve Carr. He's usually in charge of making sure the trains on the main layout are running.
We have approximately 50 small computers that are managing all the operations of the trains. That includes multiple trains on the same track, sometimes in opposite directions, sometimes following each other around.
So when they decided to build the Coney Island replica, they used the same technology to animate the different rides.
We have everything computerized currently, but now we were going to try to update it with voltage. In 2013, we actually were finishing the second floor display, and we had a space that we were looking at either a carnival, a zoo, or an amusement park. And we knew the amusement park was going to cost the most. However, we also knew that it would have the most wow factor. So because of the wow factor, and especially of having the Shooting Star roller coaster, it's a 40-foot long roller coaster that works with gravity. And it just added a lot of excitement to our facility.
Raymond Hughes is the volunteer coordinator and former volunteer himself. He was also part of the planning process to make sure that the project could be done with their volunteer effort.
We decided that maybe it would be neat to do something local to our community. Okay, we discussed it, and then we decided, well, we could probably get away with that. We could probably do that. And we've had a lot of volunteer work on it. Some of the rides were specifically done with volunteers, and some of them we actually paid to have them built because they were so complicated, and we had such a short amount of time to work on them.
Charlotte Hughes was one of the volunteers who worked on the Coney Island display. But she was also very involved in the construction of their layout. And she says there's a lot to the process.
We research the various buildings that we put on the layout. Most every model on the layout is built from scratch. And we look up historical photographs, actually dimension the buildings from the photographs, use selective compression so that they're not full scale, because this can be overwhelmingly large in a G-scale environment.
But since the folks at EnterTRAINment Junction have a certain eye for detail, visitors get a chance to see each feature come to life, whether it moves or not.
I've talked to thousands and thousands of people all the time, and some of the memories and nostalgia that it brings back. I mean, people actually remember dancing at Moonlight Gardens. I got into it to actually have something to do in retirement, and it's certainly given me a lot to do. And I would have done it all over again, knowing what I know now. Talking to the people and getting their feedback and their joy Some of the stories are just, unbelievable, and I've loved every minute of it.